My name's Joey Graci. I'm a wood sculptor. I specialize mostly in carved wooden panels, sculptures for the wall that mostly utilize scraps and cut-offs from sawmills and local cabinet shops. I grew up with woodworking. My dad had a shop, was always building houses and doing things, not professionally, but so it's always something I was around. In college, I initially started with a business degree. After 3 years, I decided to transfer to furniture design. After that, I worked in cabinet shops, sawmills, a variety of things, but always doing shows on the side. So eventually I started carving on my wooden vessels, and then eventually I kind of moved past the lathe and only started carving and sculpting and making pieces for the wall. Typically, for a piece, it starts at the sawmill, going through what material they have. I'm looking for certain characteristics in the wood, whether it be the way it's weathered, the way it's cracked or split, or if there's some kind of unique grain happening. After that, I'll bring it to my shop, and depending on the pieces, the piece could be a 10 by 10 by 8 foot piece of hard maple that needs to get processed down. So I'll cut it and basically get the part that I want from that. After that, I'll do the carving, and I can use a variety of tools, grinding tools, chainsaw, traditional gouges and hand tools. So after the carving, I'll either typically burn the wood to enhance the texturing. Sometimes I'll use stains also to further the texture as well. And then after that happens, the piece totally dries, cracks, does whatever it wants, and it'll get finished from there. The reason I like woodworking, it's a conversation with the material more so than just implying your point of view or your idea on something. You have to work with what you have, with what's available, and kind of let it talk back to you sometimes as well. So that's my biggest inspiration, I think, is trying to find the best use for the piece of wood and not try to overpower it. I hope when people see my work, it kind of changes their perspective on what woodworking is. What I do isn't woodworking in the traditional sense or even wood carving in the traditional sense. So I hope it changes their perspective on what's possible and what can be deemed fine wood art.